This isn't about semantics, and it isn't about whether a bill mentions unitization. This is about power, intent, and feasibility. Carbon capture and storage at this scale cannot function without coercive authority. Permanent underground CO2 injection creates a subsurface plume that migrates beyond artificial boundaries and beneath multiple properties. Once that occurs, voluntary participation ends. Unitization, eminent domain, or forced pore space use is not a policy preference. It is a physical and logistical necessity. There is no doubt that Mike Johnson understood this issue long before the public did. As pro tempore speaker, a former Chamber of Commerce president, and a close ally of major industrial interests, he knew the mechanisms, the risks, and the economic forces driving carbon capture and storage. He testified in support of CCS before the EPA. These projects, Sungas, Beaver Lake Renewables, Timber to Fuel, industrial hubs, are concentrated in his district. He supported them when they were quiet. What changed wasn't the policy. What changed was public awareness. This bill did not appear out of nowhere. It appeared only after citizens became informed and organized, after groups like Save My Louisiana exposed what was authorized years earlier without public debate. Had that not happened, there would be no bill today. That's not speculation. That's cause and effect. Yes, the bill now includes language addressing unitization, a bill that gestures toward reform while leaving the underlying authority intact, and while projects continue to be fast-tracked under existing law, is not a solution. It is theater. A bill that is never intended to become law does not stop projects that are already being fast-tracked by regulators and openly supported by the governor. That tells us everything we need to know. Once a subsurface plume extends beneath multiple properties, there are only two possible outcomes. The project is abandoned, or the land is taken. There is no workable third option. CCS at this scale cannot function without coercion. It cannot remain voluntary once CO2 migrates, once pressure expands beyond artificial boundaries, once neighbors refuse to consent. Every state that removed coercive authority watched projects stall or collapse. Louisiana will not defy physics, economics, or history. So the question is not whether a bill mentions unitization. The question is whether those in power ever intended to give up the authority required to force these projects through. From where we stand, the answer is no. Which leads to a simple, honest question for the public. Do you really believe this bill would exist today if citizens had not organized, spoken out, and exposed what was done years ago? Or is this bill exactly what happens when people in power need time, cover, and plausible deniability while projects continue? Please consider helping us stop this Louisiana boondoggle by donating today. You can scan the QR code or look us up online at SaveMyLouisiana.org.